Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV. Now, those of you who are familiar with Final Fantasy IV, or as it's called Final Fantasy II in the States, may notice that this title screen looks a little off. That's because we're playing a fan ROM hack of Final Fantasy called Project 2. Project 2 looks to bring us a lot of the cut content and a script as close to the original as possible. Now we're going to just kind of let the beginning here play and just enjoy this music for a little bit as I kind of talk about Final Fantasy and what it means to me and just how special it was to me. Now Final Fantasy IV, or 2 if you had known it that way, is a 1991 role-playing game by SquareSoft. And it was the role-playing game that started my love for role-playing games. I had played some before this, like I had played the original Final Fantasy on the Nintendo. I had played some of the Dragon Warrior games. But this was the game that really got me into the genre altogether, that made me fall in love with the storytelling and the mechanics and the gameplay, and sort of made me love the Final Fantasy series, although I think later games I would love even more. This music that we're listening to is just called the Prelude. And there were times in my life where if I was just feeling really crappy, like say I was sick, or I had a bad headache, or I was in a bad mood, or something happened during the day that really upset me, I would just take this cartridge, put it in my Super Nintendo, and just listen to this title screen for like 10 or 15 minutes, and just kind of let the music wash over me and get rid of all my negative thoughts and all my negative feelings. Now, just to kind of get it a little bit more personalized, I was watching a news program or something about lake monsters. Think like Nessie and Loch Ness. But there was a lake monster somewhere in America. I forget what state it is, but it's in Lake Ogopogo. And I think the monster's name is Ogopogo. So they were talking about this lake monster in the news program. And they showed a clip from this game. Because the lake monster, Ogopogo, is one of the monsters in this game. We'll eventually get to meet that monster, but that's much later in the game. Now, I guess at this point, let's just start. Let's just play the game and get right into it. Now, like I had mentioned before, this is a ROM hack. My physical copy of Final Fantasy II is sitting over here next to me. I've hung on to it all these years. And you see how there are 4 save slots here? I would play the entire game from beginning to end in just one save slot. Just so I could play it from beginning to end each time, because I loved the game so much. Now, if I didn't have a save already, we would automatically go to new game. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go play a new game. Alright, now here's another great piece of music. I could go on for hours about how great the music in this game is. But this is the Red Wings theme. It may have another name, but that's what I know it as. And I just love this. I could just listen to this too. I could listen to most Final Fantasy music, even from Final Fantasy games that I don't like. I could still listen to their music. Captain Cecil, we're about to arrive. Good. Someone tell me why we're pursuing the crystals? It's our duty. To rob from innocence? Hand over the water crystal. What have we done to warrant this? The crystal or your lives? Are you mad? How could we possibly choose between them? You just did. Ah! Please, I beg of you. Ah. Please, enough. Take the crystals and leave. My people have done you no harm. You should have said so earlier. Before you go, tell me one thing. Why does your king so eagerly chase the crystals? Ellipses. I'm sorry, I'm just getting so into the music right now. I'm like waving my hands around like an orchestra conductor. I love it. We take pride in being members of the Red Wings. Looting is out of the question. Enough. Captain, we know this bothers you as well. Listen. Possessing the crystal is an essential factor for our prosperity. Moreover, His Majesty, Judge the Mystidians know too much about the crystal's secrets. We are the Red Wings, the Air Force of Baron, and royal command is absolute. Captain. Monsters at the fore. Battle stations. Alright, we're not actually in control at this point. The game is just going along as it is. Now, Cecil just used something called a firebomb. Now, I think in the normal version of the game, he used something called a fire fang. And that was an item that is dummied out of the original NES version that was released here in the US. You okay? More incoming. Stand guard. Alright. Again, he used an item that does Lit Bolt. I don't remember what that was called. Maybe Thunder Fang? Everyone okay? You know what? Since Cecil is our party member here, and we're going to be using him for the rest of the game at this point, I'm going to turn on his portrait. So there we have him in the top corner there. That's another thing that I'm going to do different this stream, is I'm going to try to do some of my editing live along with the video, so wish me luck. Yes, sir! There are too many monsters these days. Is it some sort of omen? We're nearing Baron. Prepare to land. There's another nice piece of music. Alright, this is Bagan. Welcome, Captain. Is that the crystal? The Mystidians were helpless. I'm afraid I don't understand. This way, Cecil. Now, kind of like when I played Final Fantasy VII, I'll try to do voices for characters. But, you know, forgive me if I don't remain consistent. Please wait here. Your Majesty, I'm afraid the captain harbors distrust for the crown. Truly. Well done, Bagan. But the crystal is more important. Call him in. Yes, Your Majesty. Captain, His Majesty bids you enter. We thank you for completing your mission. Where is the crystal? Here, Your Majesty. And we lost the water crystal. Ah, look at its luster. Yes, Cecil, you are dismissed. Your Majesty. What? You were dismissed, Captain. What purpose does collecting the crystal serve? We're assaulting good people for a gem. Is this disobedience? No, I only mean, I know of your discontent, Cecil. If you cannot trust me, I can no longer place the Red Wings in your command. You are hereby relieved of your post. Your Majesty. Your new task is to take this package to Mist Village, defeat the Esper that guards the valley if you must, and depart in the morning. So that's something different too. I don't remember Esper being used in Final Fantasy IV. I don't think that was used until Final Fantasy VI, which would have been our version of 3. But hearing them use Esper in this kind of makes me happy. Your Majesty. Cecil meant no harm. Kain, if you're so concerned about Cecil, accompany him. Your Majesty. Take the package and leave. So we just received something called package. In different versions of the game, that has a different name, and I think some of the names are a little too blunt, and they kind of give away things that happen later in the game. So I'm kind of happy that they kept package in this. Your Majesty. I'm sorry, Kain. Don't worry, you'll be back in command of the Red Wings in no time. But save it. Go back to your room and rest. Use the D-pad to move. Talk to people by pressing A next to them. Talk to everyone and heed their words. You'll never know who will have useful information. So I now have control of Cecil, and we can walk around with the directional pad. And if I walk up to somebody, I can talk to them. Don't go slandering the king behind his back, or you'll wind up in jail. I suggest you stray from treason's thoughts. Now, I don't think characters in this game have different bits of dialogue, so we're just going to talk to them once, more often than not. Mist Cave is to the northwest. Well, another thing we're going to do is that anytime we see clocks or pots and pans on the ground, we're going to look at them. Sir Cecil and Sir Kain make the ultimate team. What's wrong? I'm sorry for dragging you into this. I came to your defense of my own free will. I envy you, Kain. I mastered the dark sword to please His Majesty, but out of my desire to protect, not to pillage. I understand you're wanting to be in His Majesty's good graces. I became a dragoon to feel closer to my late father. Anyway, His Majesty must have his reasons. Now get some sleep. Or do you plan on having me do all the work tomorrow? Oh, don't you worry. So yeah, even that conversation with Kain there is different depending on which version of the game you're playing. And there are a lot of versions of Final Fantasy IV. Super Nintendo, actually I think there's 3 Super Nintendo versions, the Japanese, the US version, and a third one called Easy Type. Then there's a Game Boy Advance version, a DS version, a PlayStation 1 version. There was one for mobile phones, a PSP version as well. The king seems off lately. I have faith in the king. Oh, here's something else that's new. You see, Cecil is just kind of walking around, moseying along at his own pace. Well, if I hit the L button, I can trigger, well, not trigger, but I can activate run. Now he'll keep running around like this until I hit L again. And even during, well, let's call them cutscenes, if I have that on, he'll still keep zipping around. Now here's another thing. If I hit the X button, we can open up our menu. We can look at our items, our magic, our equipment, our character status. We can change our form. We can change our rows. And we can customize everything. In fact, let's take a look at that. Now, I'm going to put the battle to active mode. We can make things go faster or slower. I think we'll keep battle speed as it is, but I might put the battle message a little slower. I'll also change the colors. But I really like that kind of deep ocean blue. I guess it's deep ocean blue. Let's see. Change will move our characters from the front or back row. Now, that's going to matter more when we have more characters, so I'll probably wait until we get to that point to explain it more. Status will of course show Cecil's status. Cecil's class is a Dark Knight and he's currently level 10. He's also right-handed. That's not going to be a big deal during most of the game, but some of the characters are right-handed and some of them are left-handed. So if they're right-handed, put their weapon in their right hand and they'll do more damage. If you put it in their left hand, they'll do less. So there's how much experience he has, how much he needs to level up, his HP, which is how much abuse he can take before he dies, his MP, he has none, he's a Dark Knight. Then his stats, like his strength, his agility, his vitality, his wisdom, and his will. Now, Kain has equipment in his right hand, which is the Dark Sword, his left hand, the Dark Shield, and he has the Dark Helmet, Dark Armor, and Dark Gauntlets. And it shows his attack is 15, his defense is 17, and I think his magic defense is 1. Now, Kain has no magic, so we can't use it. And the only item we have right now is the package. Now the package is grayed out because we can't really use it. It's just an item that we're going to keep on our character. Heard you brought back the crystal. I wasn't asleep. Sure you weren't. Alright, I went a little quick. Let's try that again. This is the White Magic Research. Rosa became a white wizard to help you, Cecil. The king is energetic lately, but something's amiss. I'm studying the 3 C's of white magic. Cure, Cure 2, and Cure 3. So yeah, back during the Super Nintendo days, we used Cure 1, 2, and 3 for the Cure spells. Those will be the spells that restore your HP. Later versions of Final Fantasy would be like Cure, Curaga, Curaga, and so forth. Alright, I'm checking these pots here to see if there's any items in them. Doesn't look like it. Now we're in the Black Magic Research. Sleep! Wait, sleep! Sweet dreams. Crud, you're not sleepy. Some monsters are immune to the basic spells of fire, ice, and lit. Must be more to learn. We're working on the use of battle magic. Nothing in these pots. Take the chests in this room. The switch is on the wall. So yeah, we can see treasure chests up there, but we don't know how to get them. Now if you look carefully at the wall in front of us, it kind of has the outline on it like it's a door. And next to it is what almost looks like a little button or a switch. So that will open the door for us. We want to keep our eyes open for things like that in the game. They won't always be so obvious. Alright, we got a Tentacure, a Tent, and 480 GP. Now some of those items are different than what they would have been named. I think Tentacure would have just been like Ether or something like that, or MP. Oh, while we're looking at items, if I go all the way down to the bottom, we have sort and a trash can. If I select an item and put it in the trash can, we get rid of it. If I hit sort, our items automatically get sorted. Well, right now they don't need to be sorted. Alright, we're walking around Baron Castle. Like for example, here. There's a piece of wall that looks like the outline of a door, and there's a switch. But we can't get to it, this guard is in the way. This is Baron's treasury, none may enter. Finally, a little bit of sleep. I'm kidding, Cecil, please don't tell the chief. Have you seen Sid? This tower's off limits. Well, I guess we're not going in there. What happens if we try to go out the front door? All's well. I feel something dark about this castle lately. You leave at the crack of dawn. Get a good sleep. It's late. Better stay in, sir. Alright, well, I'm trying to go in this door, but it's not working. That's because we have to pull this switch here. There'll be a couple of times during the game where we have to do stuff like that. We won't always just be able to walk in and out of doors as we please. Oh, there's somebody up there in that top corner. Cecil! I'm relieved you're all right. I was anxious. How could we be hurt? The mages didn't even raise their hands. Cecil. Let's discuss this elsewhere. Yes, elsewhere. We've confined the survivors. Talk to them through the bars. Blast you all! Please return the crystal to Mysidia. You don't understand. The crystal isn't some bauble. Cecil! How's my ship doing? Hey, something up? To tell the truth. What? Who's gonna lead the Red Wings then? The heck is the king thinking? I'm not gonna make him any more airships if he's using them to start unprovoked wars. Hey, I gotta get going. Julia's worried cause I've been taking too many all-nighters lately. Well, that's Sid. He's gonna wander off. Maybe we'll see him later. Nothing in that pot. Can't believe I was wounded. Captain. Gonna drink and forget what I did in Mysidia. The Red Wings have lost their glimmer. That mission left a bad taste in my mouth. Nothing to do up here. Now, I have been checking all these pots, but I'm surprised we haven't found anything in them yet. I've changed your linens. Leaving early in the morning, sir? Sleep well. Alright, good night. What happened to His Majesty? A kind, good knight who raised orphans like Kain and me. What would a man like that want with something like the water crystal? It has to have value beyond riches if it means stealing from unresisting villagers. That may be true, but orders or not, my actions were unpardonable. Cecil. I kind of like that. Even his little sprite turns to look away from her. Tell me what happened in Mysidia. Why are you being made a delivery boy for Mist? It's nothing. Then why do you look away? In Mysidia, we plundered the crystal from innocent people. I never thought my heart would reflect the color of my armor. Yet here I am. He's sleeping in his armor, too. You're a good man, Cecil. I'm a dark knight with no courage to disobey his king. The Cecil I know would never whimper like this. The Cecil I love is. You're headed for Mist in the morning, right? They say an Esper guards its valley. If anything should happen to you, Don't worry, Kain's coming too. It's late. Go back to your room. Take care. Thanks, Rosa. But as long as I am a dark knight, you and I can never be together. Let's go, Cecil. We should stop by the city to get information and supplies first. Right. Alright, well at this point, Kain has officially joined the team. So we are going to put his portrait up there too. Oh, I love this music so much. Now, I mentioned that I played the original Final Fantasy. I did not really play 2 or 3. All of them kind of start like this. Thus, the Dark Knight Cecil was stripped of his command as captain of the Red Wings. He and the Dragoon Kain set out for the village of Mist, beyond the cave, shrouded in a deep fog. The advent of the airship marked the realization of mankind's dreams, but also the rebirth of greed. Through its Royal Air Force, Baron soon reigned supreme. But why does the king seek the crystals? Why do monsters rapidly multiply and stir unrest? The crystals silently shed their light. Now look off in the distance. This game's world has 2 moons. That might be important later. Alright, we're on the overmap. Now, one of the important things we can do on the overmap is we can save. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, I still believe in save smart, save often. And thankfully, the structure of this game makes it so that it's kind of hard to get yourself into a spot where you can't keep progressing. But still, we're going to probably stagger our saves between all 4 slots a little bit here and there. So we've got Kain now. Kain is left-handed. So if I was to switch his weapons around, I couldn't do it. He won't carry a spear in his right hand. But he's at the top of our slots, and Cecil there is in the middle. That's because we currently have the form of our party set up so that the first 3 slots are the front and the 2 back slots are in the middle. So you see how Cecil's sprite is now a little bit more indented to the right? That means he's in the back row. Being in the back row means you take less damage from physical attacks, but you do less damage with physical attacks unless they can do normal damage from the back row, like, say, for example, a bow and arrow. But we're going to keep Cecil up front. Now, let's say, for example, I didn't want 3 slots in the front row. We can go to change, and then they switch. Now we have 3 slots in the back row, and we have 2 slots in the front row. Now, Kain and Cecil are front row fighters, so we're going to keep them up front. Technically, Kain can do some damage from the back row too, but we're going to keep him up front just for the time being. Now, this is our sprite. It's going to walk around, and at this point, we can get into random encounters. And I'll do a few. In fact, I'll try to get one right now. There we go. Alright, we're fighting eagles. Now, Kain is the first one to get a turn. Because I have the battle set to active, I just can't sit here and wait to figure out what to do. The enemies will attack us. Kain has fight, jump, and item. So I'll just show you fight. Kain swings with his spear and does damage to whatever target there is. Cecil is going to do the same thing. But Cecil has a sword. Now down here we have item. Almost everybody has item, which allows us to use our items from our inventory. But he also has this jump command. But with the jump command, he leaps up into the air, and he comes crashing down on the enemy to do extra damage. More often than not, that's what you want Kain to be doing, is jumping. I think it does the same damage from the back row, and while Kain is in the air, he can't be damaged. At the same case, he can't be targeted for spells or items that are beneficial. So be careful having him jump around. Okay, we got a little bit of gold and we got a little bit of experience. And we'll get into one more to show off another attack. Now, I'm walking around on the plains, I'm also walking around in the woods. If I go in the woods, we kind of get our sprite obscured to kind of show that we're walking around in the forest. Now, I don't think we're going to get different encounters in different terrains, but the backgrounds will change. There we go. So, now, Kain has some other options. He can change, or he can parry. Now if he parries, that means he's defending himself, so he's getting ready for an attack. If he changes, he'll temporarily change which row he's in. Actually, he changes everybody's row. But here's what I wanted to show you. In this version, Cecil has an ability called Dark. This was not in the original Super Nintendo version. When Kain uses this, he can target all enemies for an attack. Now he damaged everybody, he killed everybody actually. But you can see his HP went down. I think he loses something like an eighth of his hit points each time he does that. Okay, so, oh, we got attacked again. Ooh, that hurt. So you can see that there's this kind of castle-looking thing above us, and these little houses to our left and right. If I walk up, we'll go back to Castle Baron. You're not to return till you've completed your mission. So there's nothing we can do here. Let's leave. But what we can do is visit the town of Baron. There are towns all over the world during the course of the game that we'll get to visit, and they have different buildings and people that we'll want to visit and see. You might want to visit the beginner's classroom before you start your journey. There we go, we found the tonic. Alright, inns. Let's visit the inn first. Inns are very important places. Just about every city has one, and we can come here to get completely healed. Come here, you. Why is your armor dark? Are you a bad guy? Well, it feels like that sometimes. Wanted, cute dancer. Inquire at counter, Baron Inn. Hello, 50 GP per night? Are you staying? Well, yes we are. We need to heal. Alright, so Kain and Cecil are going to take a nap. Let's go. But now they are fully healed. And I'm going to take a look at this bookcase. Nope, we found another tonic. How about that bull's head? No. Well, I see treasure chests, and I see another wall that looks like we can open it, but how? I don't see any switches or anything. How about these swords? There you go. See, sometimes the switches are not always clear. Okay, a tent, eye drops, and a magic map. There's another thing that I haven't mentioned. Some of the items that we're going to find in this game were not in the original SNES version, or if they were, they had different names. Sir Cecil, we've paid our mortgage on time? That's all right. We're not here to evict you or anything. Sir Cecil, money? I couldn't charge one of the King's Dark Knights. That's all right. We can't stick around for a drink. There we go. Let's zip around. Mist is past the northwest cave. Alright, it's the beginner's classroom. Recording your journey is called saving. You can save on the world map or at save points across the world. Take note of every new place's direction. There are 4 save slots. It's a good idea to make at least 2 saves in case you lose one. Make sure to leave some free for your family. Yeah, that way, the whole family can play. We can all, progress the game at our own pace. Save before entering new places. If your party perishes, you can resume from the point you last saved at. Now that's some pretty good advice. In field maps, press R to cycle through teammates. You can also tap L to sprint. That's right. There we go. Yeah, if I press R, we'll switch between who's leading the party. You can change your name by talking to the man to my left. He's everywhere. Look for him in towns. Yeah, this is Naming Way, and he'll let us change our names. Now, I don't want to change my name. We're going to leave our names just the way they are. Inventory full? See the fat chocobo. Use Geshel Greens, where it smells like chocobos, to call him. Well, that's something we'll take a look at in a little bit. You can't enter places on chocobos. Dismount first by pressing A. Chocobos return to their woods when freed. You can catch and ride a chocobo by pressing A, just like talking. While riding chocobos, you won't encounter enemies. Chocobos are ostrich-like birds that can be used as transportation. They live in round-shaped forests. Yeah, I'm going a little fast, so please forgive me. So, if you're familiar with some of the Final Fantasy games, you might be familiar with chocobos, which are big, yellow birds. We're going to find some eventually, so I'll talk more about those when we get there. You can hook a controller up in the second port to play with a friend. So yeah, if I wanted to, I could set up a second controller, and when we were in battle mode, we could control different characters. Like, for example, I could control Kain and another player could control Cecil. Everyone has a dominant hand, but some can use both. Some foes have weaknesses. Fiery beasts are weak to cold, and ice monsters hate fire, for example. Yet in this game there are elemental weaknesses to our enemies, and if you can find those out and exploit them, you will have an easier time fighting them. Watch your arrow count. Archers are useless when they run out. So I mentioned earlier bows and arrows. Yeah, you'll get bows and arrows during the course of the game, but your arrows are limited. You only have so many at a time, and if you run out of them, you can't shoot. Most aquatic fiends are weak to lightning. A few weapons can be used as items in fight. Gotta equip them first. Select items, scroll the D-pad all the way up, and pick what you want to use. Also, weapons and shields can be equipped. Be highlighted under items. Look for one, scroll up, and put it in its designated slot. The undead receive great damage from fire and cure. Some spells can be cast on all targets. In battle, push the D-pad left to select all enemies, and right for all allies. You can push left or right in the main menu to target everyone. Do you know you sometimes drop GP when you run away? Right? That's something I didn't talk about. In battle, if we wanted to, we could try to run away by hitting L and R. It doesn't always work, and it does take some time, and doing so usually loses you some money. If the fight looks grim, flee by holding both L and R. You can't run from bosses. Also, press X to skip someone's turn, and press select to see when someone can act next. It may save your life. I think that pressing select is new for this version of the game. Put units with less HP in the rear by choosing form in the main menu. Change reverses formation, which can be done in battle by pressing the D-pad left. Also, push right to find parry, which has you defend. Act fast in fights. If you're leery about new battle system, reduce their speed in the customizer. Want a real fight? Choose active and foes will attack while you're in battle menus. Alright, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink here. Alright, now this here is an item shop. Here, lady. Don't forget to buy tonics, antidotes, and tents. It's rough out there. So when we come to an item shop, we'll get the chance to buy, sell, or exit. Now those are pretty self-explanatory. Let's see what they're selling. Selling tonics, revives, soft, Maiden's Kiss, eye drops, antidote, tents, and greens. Now I'm going to buy one green, and I should probably buy some tonics. I can buy either 1 or 10, and the price changes accordingly. Let's buy 3 tonics. Now if we look at our items, each tonic, well not each of them, most of the tonics are their own individual item slot. So what we're going to do is sort. Now all the tonics have been grouped together. We're also going to check wells. So here's some grass. Like the forest, the grass will obscure us. If we come across grass like this, it's worthwhile to explore them, because you might find stuff hiding in there. This is the Serpent Road. It leads to Mysidia, but they closed their side. Sealed at Mysidia's end. Serpent roads are ways to quickly transport between 2 areas. We'll learn more about those later in the game. It's locked. Another all-nighter. Dad's got to realize he's not that young anymore, and he needs to stop quarreling with people when they badmouth the king. A history of shipbuilding. Well, we found Sid's daughter. Birds of the world. We also found Sid. New engine's done. In almost every Final Fantasy game, there's a Sid. Most of the Sids are usually connected to the airships. Ow! Yeah, don't touch fire. They're not always connected to the airships, but it's pretty common. There's an important place. Oh, tonic. I have a bad feeling about your mission. Locked. This is the weapon and the armor shop. Right now it's locked up, we can't go in there. At this point in the game, Kain and Cecil have the best equipment they're going to get. Wow, a dark night. Scary, but kind of cool too. So we're not going to have a very good chance to get more equipment for Cecil or Kain for probably a little while still. A Tentacure. His Majesty has become dreadful. I heard you did an awful thing in Mysidia. Don't drag Rosa into trouble, I beg you. I think that's Rosa's mother. A maiden's kiss. Alright. A maiden's kiss will reverse Toad, while eye drops will heal blind. Not only are we going to take damage during the course of the game, we'll get different status effects. And depending on the status effect, we'll need different items to recover from it. For example, we can get turned into a frog. That's what we need a maiden's kiss for. The western building leads to the underground waterway. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Nope. Why, hello, sir. Yes, I've been paying my taxes. Why don't you watch me dance? Alright. We'll find dancing girls in most of the towns. No, we don't want to watch you dance again. What we do want to do is go in the water here. Because we actually go down the waterfall. Now, just like the grass, it kind of obscures us a little bit. But we can also find things hiding in here sometimes. Like you see, I can't move up anymore. That's because there's a treasure chest here. And we got the stop trap. I don't know what that is. There are some items in this version of the game that I just don't know what they do. And it doesn't say what it does. So we may have to experiment a bit and see what they do. I can almost swear that we can get over to that grass somehow. Alright. Oh, we can also run around on the overworld here. Oh, we just got ambushed. When battle starts like this, we'll get different effects. Most of the time it will just be the battle starting. But sometimes, like for example, we got ambushed, which means the enemies get a chance to go first before us. Sometimes we'll get a preemptive strike, which means we'll get a chance to go before the enemies. Now the woods here look kind of weird, don't you think? That's because we just found the Chocobo Forest. Now, Chocobo Forest, check the grass here too. Alright, we got some greens. Now, I'm not bothering with the Chocobos right now, because if I grab a yellow one, we're going to leave. But if I can get close to this white one, he'll restore our MP. So if we have people that use magic, we can come in here. What's that smell? It smells like Chocobo. So our inventory opens up, and if we use a green, boom! Presenting the Fat Chocobo. Boom, ba-bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. What do you want to do? Now, we can give him items. There's no reason to give him any items right now, but if for whatever reason we were low on item space, and we want him to hang on to them, we could give him some of our items. We could also take some items, but he doesn't have any right now. But now we're going to grab a yellow Chocobo. Giddy up, Chocobo. Alright, now we're riding a Chocobo, and we are listening to the iconic Chocobo music. While we're riding a Chocobo, we cannot get into random encounters. But we cannot enter towns, castles, or caves or dungeons. And this Chocobo can run around in the water. We actually want to go up here to this cave, but I'm not done yet. Goodbye, Chocobo. I want to get into a few more fights first. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but sometimes after fighting enemies, they'll drop items. And these imps in particular drop a very special item. Not a tonic. They drop something really unique and really special. But your chances of getting it are something like 1 in 64. Not good chances. And now I have played through this game dozens of times. And I think maybe one time playing through it, I found that special item drop. Now, I could sit here and fight these things over and over and over again until we get what we want. But that will take forever. And I don't want to do that. But you know what? I do want what they drop. Because part of playing this is to show off. you know, everything. Okay. So we're gonna cheat. Don't tell anyone, but we're gonna cheat and get that item. Shh. That, you didn't see anything. That didn't say applying cheat. So, our first item slot here is empty, but it says there's the Caller's Magical Orb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the eye drops here. We only have one of them. And I'm going to move it to this slot. And now we have the Imp Summon. What is the Imp Summon? Well, I'll tell you about that a little later. What we are going to do is we're going to turn off the cheat. I ruined it. Didn't work. We're going to try that again. Hang on. I keep screwing this up. It says it's there. I don't believe it. Yeah, so since our attempt at cheating didn't work out quite the way I had hoped, people in the chat are asking, what's the cheat supposed to do? Well, what it's supposed to do is automatically put in our inventory that special item that the imp is supposed to drop. See, now there's nothing there. So we're going to do this a little differently. I think we'll fight just a little bit longer, because there's one more enemy I want us to see. Hey, Cecil leveled up. So it was all worthwhile. I think we're more likely to encounter the enemy I want in the desert. I don't know that for a fact. There we go. See these enemies here? See those birds? Well, those birds, just like the imp, will drop a very special item. But they also only have something like a 1 in 64 chance of doing it. So just like we cheated to get that item from the imp, we're going to cheat to get that item from those birds. But we're going to do that a little later. We're going to continue the game now. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll fight long enough for Kain to gain a level. Well, who knows? I could very possibly get the item legitimately. You know, like a 4.4% chance, something like that. Alright, Kain needs 1,000 more XP. I mean, Cecil needs 1,000 more XP. Kain needs 230. Actually, that won't take too long, but I've been making you people wait long enough. Now, I do plan on playing most of this game for you just during the stream, but if it comes to it, I will do some grinding off-screen, just in case I need to gain extra levels or anything like that. Alright, there's Stop Trap again. Don't know what that does. Let's try that out the next time we get into a fight. Come here, bird. Love these little guys. Alright, now we are inside Mist Cave. Now, not only is this a new area, but there will be new enemies for us to fight with. This has got pretty good music too. Now keep your eyes open, because there will be treasure chests around. A preemptive strike. That means we get to attack first. Not only will there be treasure chests, but there may also be secret passages around. That was a nice chunk of XP. Go back. Who's there? So is Kain hearing things? Kain and Cecil hearing things? Ah, there's Kain's level. And there's the soft item. Now, nothing in that rock, but sometimes there are goodies. Eye drops. Insectus. Kain is starting to get low on XP. Not XP, on HP. Let's heal a little bit. Put you down there. Nothing. A tent. Tents are really good items, but we can only use them in special places like the world map or on save points. And they heal a great deal of HP and MP. Oh, you saw that I targeted and attacked an imp? Well, that imp is dead now, but he still attacks a sword rat. In some versions of the Final Fantasy games, if you don't target the right enemy, you could lose out on an attack. Thankfully, that's not the case in this game. Leave now. Is this the Esper of Mist Cave? I think it is. Knights of Baron. Who's there? Turn back now, and no harm will come to you. Show yourself. Do you still wish to go on? Well, of course we do. We got a package to deliver. We must deliver this package to Mist Village. Then I have no choice. The mist congeals. Alright, and it is our first boss fight. And that's the Mist Dragon. So Kain is going to jump. But Cecil is going to fight. No use using his dark attack on a single enemy. So all in all, this isn't too tough. We're just going to keep doing our same attacks over and over again. And Kain is hitting it pretty hard. It's not hitting us pretty hard. Turned into mist. Oh, we missed. Cold mist. Ow, that hurt. The mist is scathing. We have to wait until it turns into a dragon. So yeah, while the mist dragon is in mist form, if we try to attack it, it will miss and it will automatically counterattack with its cold mist. So we're just going to keep parrying until it changes back. I don't think we actually have to parry. I think we can just sit here and wait. But I'm going to parry. Look, the mist gathers. Man, I love this music. Uh-oh, turned into mist. Alright, now it's going to blast both of us. That was pretty hard. Alright, the mist gathers. And we did it. We slayed the dragon. And there is the Village of Mist. So, let's go deliver our package. The package opened automatically. And red monsters came out of it. Red fire monsters. There was a bomb ring in that package. Is this why we were sent here? To burn down the village. Why? Why? Mom, please. Did you hear that? What happened to your mother? Mom's dragon died, so Mom did too. I've heard of these folks. Callers they're named, for their ability to bond with espers. So when we defeated the dragon, we also... her mother, we... You murdered Mom's dragon! We never intended this to happen. His Majesty wanted to wipe out all the callers of this village. Are you going to finish the job, Cecil? Kain, she's a child! Then you renounce your loyalty to the crown. If forsaking my fealty means this blameless girl won't be another victim, yes. You won't be alone in doing so. Kain, I owe His Majesty much, yet I can't disgrace the honor of the Dragoons. Then you understand the ramifications of this, Cecil. Baron is the mightiest country in the world, and it will be impossible to challenge it alone. We must have other countries to hear our plight. I know Rosa would agree. Thank you, Kain. I'm not doing this just for you. Let's get out of here fast. What about the girl? We can't leave her. Listen, it's dangerous here. You have every right to distrust us. But please, come with us. No! Would you listen to reason in her place? Just grab her. No, go away! Wait. You killed Mom. You're horrible people. Alright, it's boss fight time with girl. Now I'm just going to defend, because it doesn't matter. I hate you. And she just called. She called Titan. Just hit us with an earthquake. In fact, he hit us with an earthquake so hard that they they collapsed the ground. Oh, she's all right. Kain? Kain! We can't stay here. Kain, please be safe. Alright, so the way back is blocked, and Kain's gone. So since Kain's gone, we're just gonna turn his portrait off. And what are we gonna do now? Well, there's a big desert in front of us. And there's a sandworm. Well, thankfully it's by itself. And apparently it's slow. We were able to attack it 3 times before it could attack us once. Now, we have a little goodie item here called the magic map. And it zooms out so we can get an idea of what's ahead of us. And there is a town over there next to that oasis. So that's going to be our first stop. Oh, there's the sandworm again. Ooh, that's not good. Oh no, it's fine actually. We only took a point of damage. Alright, I think I might actually fight out here just long enough to gain another level, which should be our next fight. Alright, now... Oh, we were ambushed. There are 2 sand hags and 100 legs. For these guys, we will use dark. Ooh, that's a good chunk of XP. And a tonic. The oasis town of Kaipo. Kaipo? Kaipo sounds about right. Where's the inn? Alright, the game is taking control away from me. That's alright, we're going straight to the inn anyways. Hello. Oh my word. She's so pale. Please take her to rest, free of charge. Thank you. You okay? I haven't heard your name yet. I know I did an awful thing. I can't ask you for your forgiveness. But at least let me protect you, please. I know it's such a little thing, but I love the little reactions that the sprites make. Oh, what do we have here? At last we found you, Cecil. His Majesty decrees the Callers of Mist are too dangerous to let live. What? Give us the girl over my dead body. Alright, so this is kinda sorta of a boss fight. Now I'm going to use Dark and see what happens. I actually don't want to kill those 3 red soldiers. Okay, good. Because those red soldiers only react when the general tells them to. So like right now, both of them are going to attack. Maybe I should have killed that one in front. So there's a method to my madness. If I killed all of the red soldiers, the general would run away. What I want to do is keep the general, well, keep the soldiers alive, so I can attack the general until he finally dies. I think I'm going to net more XP and money that way. Although this may take a little while, because the general is behind his soldier. Ooh, critical hit. Critical hits happen every once in a while. You get a flash of the screen like that, and you deal extra damage. Yeah, I really should have took that one out in front. And this is the reason I wanted to gain an extra level. I wanted to be a little tougher for this fight. Alright, General is done. Soldier is done. Are you all right? You put yourself in danger for me. It's part of my apology. I know you can never forgive me, but you protected me. I'm Rydia. And caller Rydia joined. We have a new party member, which means new portrait. Let's go. Now let's take a look at Rydia. Rydia is level 1. She's a level 1 caller, which means she's 11 levels behind us, and she's not doing good. She also only has clothes for her armor, so we need to equip her. Let's explore the town a little bit first. Nothing up there. Sage Tella raised Anne by himself, but she still ran off. And what have you got? Let's buy a couple more tonics. I may need more items, so let's keep looking around. Have a mug of Kaipo's finest. Oh, who are you? I'm on my way to Fabul, but a curious old man denies access to the watery underpass. Alright. Only Damsian royalty can enter the Antlion Cave east of the castle. Welcome. We have few customers this day due to monsters. Oh, that's something we might want to take a look at. Rydia is a caller, and she has white magic, black magic, and quoll magic. Right now, all she can summon is a Chocobo. Now, part of that is because she's only level 1. As she gains levels, she'll get access to more magic. But quoll magic is special. I want to go to Damsian, but some kook's not letting anyone through. Want to see my routine? Well, you're going to show it to us anyways. Oh! She decided to do a little swimming. Put that little girl in the back row if you're going to travel with her. Well, we already did. So she'll take less damage if she gets hit. Somebody found a sick lady from Baron. She got desert fever. Now, I hope desert fever does not like jungle fever. This is Kaipo, the oasis of the desert. I know, that was a terrible joke. Anne fell in love with a bard, but Sage Tella didn't approve, so she ran away. The watery underpass is northeast of here, but 8 huge sea snakes block the path to Daimson. Alright, items. Well, armor shop, actually. And we're gonna buy some armor. Now, you see how Radia's sprite over there starts raising her arms up and down? Well, that means she can use these. Cecil cannot use these at all, so... Alright. But she needs a weapon. Do you guys have new things to say? No, this is all the same stuff. I think there's a beginner's town in each, well, town. I think they all have the same stuff to say, though. Pardon me? Okay, well, I see. Pardon me, I'm gonna try to adjust my seat here. I see a rod, a staff, a short bow, and an iron arrow. Now, we could get her the bow and arrow, but I want to get her the rod. The rod is actually the weakest of the weapons, but I have a reason for wanting her to use the rod. Ah, Tentacure. We're in the domain of Daimson Kingdom. Its prince sings lovelier than any bard. We found this Baron woman outside of town. She keeps calling a name. Do you know Cecil? Do we know Cecil? Where's Cecil? Rosa. Rosa. Cecil, don't leave me. A sand ruby could cure her fever, but they're in the antlion's nest. So Rosa's sick, and we need a ruby from an antlion nest. The only cure for desert fever is the light of a sand ruby. So in the chat, they're mentioning how funny it is that I pronounce things differently than they would expect. Well, part of that is because I am just bad at that. I am bad at pronouncing words. And another part of that is, well, they're not words we normally really use. They're kind of these fantasy names and stuff, so I'm not sure how to pronounce them anyways. Okay, so the reason I wanted Radia to have a rod is we can go into the items here and use it, and then use it on an enemy. Now she does actually really good damage doing that. And she gained a couple of levels. She learns Ice, she learns Cure, and that's it. I'm going to take all these items. We're going to use Cure to restore some of our HP. But we're not done yet. preemptive strike. Now, Rydia now has some black magic. She can't use it, she doesn't have MP. So, we're going to skip to Cecil and use Dark again. And she learned Sight. Okay, I want to get in one more fight. And then we're going to go back inside and heal. There was a trick I remember. I don't remember exactly how to do it. I think what we want to do is go in here, go to an empty slot, and go up to the item. And then, is it that? There should be a trick to duplicate items. I don't remember how to do it, though. I may have to look that up later. See, practically no damage if she uses Fight. But a real nice chunk of damage if she uses the rod as an item. Okay, let's rest. Now, Rydia has her MP back, which means she can use her magic again. And that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we got 4 imps here. Now, Cecil could use Dark and probably kill them all. But Rydia is going to use Ice. She's going to target that one in the back. And she did a nice big chunk of damage. But that might take too long if we just sat here shooting them one at a time. So we're going to hit all 3 of them with Ice. And that's the end of all of them. Now, some magic can be used in battle, some magic cannot. Now, Sight is actually different than what I thought it was. I thought that was something that you can use to get an effect on enemies. Maybe it is. I'll have to get into combat first. Ambushed. Nope, doesn't do anything. So here's a good question. Do I have enough magic to call the Chocobo? Summoning magic is a little different than than using white or black magic. What summoning magic does is it calls forth a monster or an enemy, or like in this game they're calling them espers, and they do special attacks. So in this case we're getting the Chocobo Bop. Now Chocobo charges in and damages the enemy for a nice chunk of damage. Okay, now Rydia is currently blind. That's what that little icon there means. So if we have eye drops, we can cure that. But I think we can also cure it if we go to the inn. And we're actually going to do that real quick. We'll go to the inn. I should also save at some point. So do you remember how earlier I said we were going to cheat? Well, we're going to cheat again. Don't tell anyone. So if I did this right, yes, in our first slot we have the Caller's Magic Orb. If I try to use it, there's nothing there. So what I want to do is move a tonic. And now we have the Imp Summon. And Rydia learned Imp. At this point in the game, this is the only way for her to learn new summons, is to hope that you get this less than 1% chance that the enemy will drop the magic orb to summon them. And we can get them from imps or we can get them from eagles. So since we just did the imps one, we're now going to do the eagles one. Hang on a second. So we're gonna cheat again. We're gonna keep this under our hats. Because cheating is bad. Especially if you're cheating to get an item that you normally only have a 1% chance, and you may play through the game for 26 plus years and never see these items. Okay, so move a tonic. And now we have Cockatrice. And Rydia learned Cockatrice. And that's going to be it for a good long while before Rydia can learn any more summons. Now I think I've seen the Imp summon before, but we're going to take a look at it now. If I can get into another fight. And what do you know? Imps. Imp is kind of expensive at 13, and it can only target one enemy. Alright, Imp Punch. Yeah, kind of measly damage. And at this point, we can also sort our equipment again. So let's take a look at Cockatrice. This only affects one enemy, and I don't think I've ever seen this before. So, Rock Beak. Ah, we turned that imp to stone, automatically killing it. Well, that was fun. Uh-oh. Rear assault. So we got attacked from behind. Like a preemptive strike, that means the enemies are going to get to go first, but our order has been changed. So let's fix that. Now, if I was playing on my own, I would probably stay here, probably until Rydia got to about level 10 or so. But I don't think I want to do that to you guys. What I am going to do is I'm going to look up that duplication trick. Okay, let's see if we can pull this off. Alright, well, if we want to get the sand ruby for Rosa, we need to go through that cave. Okay. Now, let's see if I got this right. Go up here, and put the rod in an empty slot. Nope. We'll have to try that again. Alright, so we're in the underwater passage, and the enemies here are going to jump in difficulty. Cave toads. Let's see how you guys like some ice. They didn't like it very much at all. And Rydia learned the hold spell. There we go. So you see how it says Rod 2 now? That means we duplicated the rod. We can do that with any item that we can hold in either of our hands. That's, well, it's a good way to make duplicates of items to share with party members, but it's also a good way to make duplicates of items you otherwise can't find copies of. And if you're clever, it's a good way to make some extra money. Oh, ice didn't bother you guys, did it? Oh, cave toads. You guys did not like ice. You know, now that I think about it, there was a similar item duplication trick in Final Fantasy VII. And who are you? Dark Knight, hear my plea. A wicked bard tricked my daughter into running away to Damcyan. I sense evil in that direction. You must be Sage Helen. Indeed, I need to rescue my daughter, but a gigantic monster blocks the way. My magic alone can't defeat it. But your sword might help. And this girl is a caller. She's quite gifted, I sense. We're also on our way to Damcyan. Excellent. Let us work together to get there. And Sage Helen just joined. Which means we got his portrait. Now, he's a sage, which means he uses magic. He's actually quite a high level compared to us. Now he's using a rod, which is which is more powerful than our staff. He's using a staff which is more powerful than our rod. But the rod, as you already know, has a special effect if used as an item. So we're going to give that to him. Bomb part. An iron ring. Now we're probably just going to go buy you one of those, but since we found one, we'll just give it to you. Preemptive strike. Now Tella has a number of powerful white and black magic spells, but he also has something called Recall. Gale. Alright, that doesn't look like anything happened. Gale, I don't know. Recall is supposed to randomly produce a spell. There we go. And Rydia learned sleep. Although Tella does not have a lot of magic. Well, a lot of MP, I mean. So even though he has some powerful spells, he can only use them so often. Ooh, and we found a hidden area. And we find Revive, X Potion, and Ether. Alright, Tella, what can you recall this time? Fire. Well, not bad. Not great, but not bad. What these fishies really dislike is lightning. Now, do you also dislike lightning? This is a pretty tough enemy. Got away. Sadly, that means a little less XP. Yeah, come on, you toe biters. We know how to deal with you. I'm gonna go outside back to the town real quick, and we're just gonna buy some equipment for Tella and rest at the inn, and then we'll try to tackle the cave. He doesn't need weapons, he does need armor though. Oh, you've already got leather armor. You only need the helmet. Well, let's sell off some of this stuff. Since we can buy and sell these items at pretty much any time we like, I'm not all that concerned with selling them. But if they're unique items that there's only one of in the game, or you can only find in treasure chests or that sort of thing, I tend to want to hang on to them. You know what? Let's save again. And let's try to beat this area. Zambambis. Well, there's 4 of them. Let's see what happens if we hit them with dark. Well, that was useless. Well, we did read that they don't like fire, but Rydia doesn't know fire. But you know what they don't like? They don't like cure magic. Oh, that wasn't very good either. Let's just hit him with fire. That's better. This is another point where elemental attack types come into play. Zombies are strong against dark types, so that means Cecil's sword is going to do a lot less damage to them. Nothing. Okay. You know what? Let's try the cockatrice on this water bug. It worked. Although casting cockatrice is pretty expensive, was it worth it? A cross. Okay, I gotta remember to try using some more of these items. Otherwise, they're just gonna keep taking up space in our inventory. Nope, nothing behind that waterfall. So, why don't we try Stop Trap? Oh, you know what I think that does? I think that holds enemies. Or stops them. Yeah. Oh, no, let's go this way. Oh, you guys are jerks. I get the feeling when it uses refresh like that, it restores all the damage it took. Yeah, we get a lot less XP and money if we don't take out the water bug. Oh. Why isn't it working? I thought I would try showing you guys what running away looked like. It isn't working for some reason. Ha! Take that! Learn the Venom. I don't remember using Venom very often. I don't think it worked very well. But we'll try it a few times, see if we can get something going. Now, those of you watching, if you notice that I've missed anything, or if I should go back and grab something, feel free to let me know. This is an old game, I've played it dozens of times before. I'm not really terribly worried that you guys might spoil something for me. And I want to still show off as much of the game as possible. Now, there's something very special and very important. Let's rest here. This field wards off monsters. You can use tents and cabins and even save. Let's use my tent to rest for the coming battle. Fast asleep. She must be exhausted. She's a caller from Mist Village. She's a very gifted mage. With proper training, she could do much more than summon espers. She's so sweet, just like Anna at her age. Anna's your daughter? Yes. She ran away to Damsian, what a bard, as I disapproved of their union. Why are you two heading there? My friend suffers from desert fever. A sand ruby is your goal. We must hurry then. Tell me about the monsters of these caves, these caverns. A horrifying beast with 8 huge tentacles. We must defeat it to save Anna and your friend. I only hope it is not too late. Now, we just rested. Sort of like if we went to an inn. Now, a tent does not heal as much as a cabin does, but we're not at the point in the game where that's going to make much of a difference. Later on in the game, we'll get to a point where our HP and MP will be so high that using a tent, well, using only one tent will not be enough. So we just got an ice rod. Let's give that to Tella. So it's more powerful than the rod. And it also has a special effect like the rod. Using that, we kind of get a free use of ice. Now, let's see if I can remember how to do that item duplication trick again. Is it the empty space first? Yeah, it is. And now we have an extra ice rod for Rydia. Bomb part. I should use some of those bomb parts. Let's see. Okay, that looks like fire on everybody. And take along. Any other items to check out? Alrighty. Well, this was easy to find. This just shows us exactly where to go. I wasn't sure if those were going to be kept intact in this version or not. But in the US version of Final Fantasy, the secret passages and stuff were made partially visible. And we got a tonic. There's a treasure chest over there. And we get the plumed hat. It's plumed. It's got like a little feather in it. Let's give that to Rydia. Oh, that isn't much damage at all. Cheap as free is nice, but we gotta do more damage than that. Now, they just mentioned in the chat that there should be a set of armor for Cecil, and I do believe there is new armor for him to find in here. Ooh, that looks like a long fall. Noticed. Cannot use here. I don't know what that is. Cecil, you are not going to use dark on these guys. But if you could heal us, that would be appreciated. I'm being told there might be a hidden item over here. Doesn't look like it. Uh-oh, an alligator. Now things are getting serious. Oh wait, you guys don't care about ice. Doesn't matter. Critical hit. Oh, we got some new toads here. And that toad tried to cast Toad on us, which, if it's successful, would have turned us into a little frog. Like that. See? He's got a little frog sprite, and it's blue like his armor. And look, he's even got a little frog portrait. You know, if I had thought far enough ahead, I would have set up portraits for them when they're in like pig mode or mini mode or stuff like that. Oh no, Cecil needs to heal. Ah, dang it. That was a frog. Alright, but can you use magic to turn yourself back? Yes, you can. Although it's expensive magic. It's 20 MP. Stop trap. And the Shadow Sword. Okay, that is Cecil's first new weapon. And it increased his attack by 10. Is that going to make his dark any more powerful? I think it's a little stronger. You missed. You both missed. And you see you get turned into a frog. For your trouble. Alright, but we got a Maiden's Kiss. That'll turn you back. Alright, actually, I'm going to hit run. And we're going to walk back to that save point. Wow, we're pretty quick like this. I wonder if it changes the encounter rate. Oh, you don't have any MP to recall anything. Ah, warp. Warp's a good one. We're not going to use it right now, but it should let us teleport out of the dungeon. If it doesn't teleport us out of the dungeon, it might teleport us to the nearest town, or the last town we went to. There we go, there are the tents. Alright, now I'm going to try to make it to the end of the cave. Can I run? I'm holding the L and R, but it doesn't look like anything's happening. I'm trying to save my MP for a important reason. But even though this is a, what, 26-year-old game or whatever it is, I still kind of don't really want to give away stuff. Blarg. I should have done that anyways. Oh, I did not do that. Now we got one of them. Good chunk of XP, though. Made it worthwhile. toads. Alrighty, you're a frog again. A little blue frog. Would have figured you'd be a little green frog. See, your green frog there. The beast is in the cave beyond here. Use a tent if we need it while you can. Oh, that's right, because out in the world map you can use tents and stuff. I'm a dummy. The beast is below. Okay, nothing over this way. There we go, the Hades helm and the Hades gloves. So there's still the Hades armor and the Hades shield. I would have thought they were shadow. But that may be part of the retranslation stuff here. What are bugs? Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? Uh-oh. That's a lot of zombies. Ooh, that wasn't enough to take them down. There we go. Uh-oh, mini-mages. So, remember how the frogs would use Toad on us and turn us into frogs? Well, the mini-mages will use Mini and turn us into little itty-bitty-bitty nothings. Ah, you jerk. See, they just drained some of the MP out of us. And Rydia learned Toad. So she could turn the enemies into frogs now. Alright, well, we got the Hades armor, but Hermes? What's that? Not something you use in battle. Hermes was the messenger god, correct? So, reasonable to assume that that lets you escape battle. And there's our boss. It comes! The Octomom. Octoman? Alright. Now, this horrible octopus-looking thing, even though it's all tentacly and nasty, it's only one creature. So we're just going to use attacks that focus on it. Let's try Recoil, see what happens. Might get a really strong attack. I'm pretty sure that Chocobo is the strongest thing that Rydia can use on it right now. But we did enough damage to it that its tentacles have withdrawn. I don't think Imp Punch is going to do much. Yeah, that was meaningless. We got rid of some of the tentacles, though. Actually, we're just plowing our way through this guy. Alright, one more Chocobo. I know I keep saying Chocobo, but it's spelled C-H-O. So it should be Chocobo. Good job! It's weakening! Ooh, you didn't like that, did you? And down it goes. And Cecil leveled up. Let's hurry to Damsine. Past this waterfall. Alright, good. We're out of that cave. And there's the castle. Let's just get going and... Oh, that's a problem. Let's rush. Okay, now I am going to steal all Talon's stuff because I'm a dirty thief. So you see how we're kind of right outside the castle, but we haven't gone back to the world map yet? Well, we can kind of hug our way around the castle like this. Prince Edward. And we can get into this little area over here. This is the basement. I can't see. Are you friends? Please keep the treasure safe. Crossbow, plumed hat, and ruby ring. Actually, we can probably give the ruby ring to Rydia right now. I think it's going to reduce her physical defense a little bit, but increase her magic. Now, am I out of my mind? Just thinking there might be a other passages. Pearl. Now, pearl and iron. Those are arrows, actually. We're starting to get low on inventory space. Just double checking. They took the crystal. The attack was brutal. Well, we got a tent. A pot of lives above. Uh-oh. Anna! You're that bard. You did this. Alright, fight time. And we're going to get to enjoy... We're going to get to enjoy one of the iconic moments of Final Fantasy II or IV. You spoony bard! Please! Spoony bard is like this beloved line from this game, and it's made its way to every version of Final Fantasy IV. Just everyone loves it. Now, spoony has a meaning. I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm not reading the dialogue because I'm sitting here thinking about what spoony means, but it's a way of behavior that's kind of not nonsensical, but not serious. Anna, are you all right? What did this man do to you? Father, Edward is the Prince of Damcian. He only disguised himself as a bard to visit me. In Capo, that's how we met. Forgive me for running away, but I love Edward. We were about to leave to ask your blessing on our marriage when Golbez attacked the castle, leading Baron's red wings. Who is Golbez? I don't know. Why did they siege your kingdom? They were after the fire crystal. Anna shielded me from their arrows. You love him that much. I do, but I love you too, Father. Oh, Edward. Anne. Who is Golbez? All I know is he's gathering the crystals using the Red Wings. Enough. Tears won't bring Anna back. Curse you, Golbez. I'm coming to avenge my daughter. You can't go alone. Smack! I need no help. This is my own affair. Sage Tella left. So, since he's gone, we're going to turn off his portrait. And Anne. Stop it. You're a grown-up. I lost my mom and I'm not gonna cry anymore. Rightio? I know I'm just a coward, but I don't care. I'm staying here with Anna. Smack! You're not the only one suffering. I'm sure Anna would want you to help those who do. I'm Cecil. I'm looking for a sand ruby to help my ill friend Capo. You need me? Yes, you. Your friend sounds important. You shouldn't lose a loved one. The sand ruby is made from secretions of the antlion when it lays its eggs. The nest is across the shoals. We can use the hovercraft to cross them, and also to return to Capo. Alright, Bard Edward joins. So that means we turn on his portrait. Goodbye, Anne. Right. But looky what we get. We have our first vehicle of the game. We have the hovercraft. Like riding around on Chocobo, we will not get attacked while using the hovercraft. But unlike the Chocobo, we can ride across these shoals here to get to different areas. And we can come back to Capo. We can also go across water. Now, Edward is only level 5, so we're going to have to do some leveling up for him. He's a bard, and he has a harp that he attacks with. Okay, you're good with what you have. I think everybody else is good too. So let's sell off some of this extra stuff. Like this rod. And these leathers. But I think we're going to hang on to the crossbow and the plumed hat and that kind of stuff. We don't need to hang on to the dark equipment, but I kind of don't want to sell it. Maybe we'll give it to the Chocobo. We need some healing, don't you think? We could use some healing. But I'm not going to the inn to heal. That's dumb. Why is that dumb? Well, if you remember, they said the pot of life is back up over here. Now the castle is completely empty. Even the bodies are gone. Well, not completely empty. Alright, HP restored and status normalized. You can go to Capo along the shoals with the hovercraft. The road to Fabul through Mount Hobbs is blocked by thick ice. And this one restores your MP. So we can heal here anytime we like. Alright, now I'm gonna walk around off the hovercraft just because I want to get into a couple of fights. I'm pretty sure the fights are the same as they are by Keipu. Okay, so this is Edward, and Edward has a couple of interesting abilities. Hide and Sing were in the original Super Nintendo version, so if I hit Hide, Edward runs off screen. Now, while he's off screen like that, nothing can hurt him. But at the same time, he can't do anything. He's just hiding off screen. Now, I guess if your timing is good, he can avoid some bad hits. But it's not much use to us, so we're gonna bring him back. Now, here he has Sing. Sing will make him do a magical song that has random effects. So he did the charming melody. So I think the enemy is charmed and won't attack us anymore. And now he has Solve. Now this is... No, it's confused and it's hurting itself. Solve is something new. I think the way this works is he'll use a potion from our inventory on all of us. Ah, a bunch of imps. There may be a lot of you. A lot of imps, yeah. Let's try hitting you guys. Actually, let's try hitting you guys with Toad. Just have some fun. None of you got Toad. Right, the enemies here aren't great for training. This might be a little better. So yeah, Edward fights with a harp. Now we're going to see what happens when he uses his harp. He plays it, and magical musical notes hit the enemy. Now that is much better XP. So again, I would probably normally spend, you know, a little bit of time leveling everybody up. Maybe get Edward up to about level 10 or so. But I don't want to do too much of that right now. In fact, I think I'm at the point where I kind of want to call it an episode. Uh-oh, Zambambis. Now this might be a problem. Actually, this is a problem. So we don't have any way to deal really good damage to them. You're gonna hide, actually. See, Cecil's sword is gonna do no damage. And really, only Radia's Chocobo Call is going to do much in the way of damage to these guys right now. Thankfully, they don't hit that hard. Yeah, Cure will do damage, but not a lot. Yeah, see? So, slowly, one by one, we're going to whittle them down with Chocoboos. So in the chat they're asking, does this version of the game have New Game Plus? Unfortunately, no. I think that's the PSP version and the DS version that have New Game Plus. Someone can double check that for me if they feel like it. But this is, for all intents and purposes, the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo game. It's just all the content that was removed has been restored, or as much of it as possible, and the translation is closer to what the original Japanese was. Because I think there are about 3 or maybe 4 different scripts for this game that have been made over the years, and I think there are at least 3 different fan translations. I'm using, of course, the Project 2 translation, which, as I understand, is, again, trying to just be as close to the Japanese original as possible. There are a couple of other ones. I think there's one called Naming Way Edition, which does translate it. I think it also translates fairly accurately, but it uses a lot of terminology and names from more modern Final Fantasy games. When I say remove content, I mean stuff like character special attacks and items and equipment and that sort of thing. Although I think there's a hidden area in this game that was not in the Super Nintendo version. Alright, let's save. And that's going to do it for this. I have really enjoyed this, even though we played for about 3 hours. I'm just going to play this whenever the mood strikes me, for however long the mood stays with me. So I'll try to keep you guys up to date, so, you know, keep your subscriptions up to date, and just keep your eyes open and see if I'm playing. Otherwise, you can always catch these on replay. So thank you for watching.